And I remember one of your videos about how is it for look, I'm open-minded, and I see you are also open-minded, and we can talk about everything. A video, how is it like for a black woman in Croatia? So, have you ever experienced anything bad, considering that aspect of life?
Yeah. So basically, based on the video that you watched, I
Yeah.
mentioned the only time that I've ever experienced anything in Croatia that made me feel very strange. Where I think I said that in the video. These ladies, well, not ladies, but the Tisak, the Tisak,
Yeah, I
the people
remember
in the
that
T.
story. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the only time I ever felt. And I always, for me, I always like to see everything as I don't. If something bad happens to me, I don't first of all say it's because of my race, okay? Because most Nigerians or most Africans, we're not like other parts of the world where you have black people. We think like this. There's nothing wrong with my race because where we are, we're like 100% black people.
Yeah, no,
We're not,
I
so
understand.
if I have a problem with another person in Nigeria, I'm not thinking, oh, is he angry with me because I'm darker than him? No, we just think maybe it's because of the way that I speak or the way that I look. No, it's never race. So when that happened to me, I never thought it was race. But I've never experienced anything bad aside from that day. My life has been awesome in Croatia.
Well, there are bad people, I would say, in any nation, in any race, and everywhere.
Yes,
Yeah. And
you won't believe it,
yeah.
but I feel better. Like I see less bad people in Croatia. I go through a lot of annoying people here in my country.
Yeah.
I think you would say the same thing for your country because you're local there, right?
Yeah,
It's
when we, I was, for example, I will speak for myself, but I think I know Croatian people very well. When we see a stranger here, never mind, is it from Africa or I don't know, France or anything, but especially if it's from Africa or China, where you can see someone is racially different. We want to talk with that person, but in a positive way. At least I'm talking from my personal experience because I like to know, to get to know different cultures, different races, different people. And maybe you will agree now with me, or I don't know, but for me, for example, this is a big stuff about race in Western world. As I mean, Croatia is part of Western world, but it's not like totally into stuff like France, USA, Britain, but especially USA, where this subject is like, on another level. And I think,
oxygen.
yeah, I always say this, and maybe you can say something about it because you were saying something in your video about something about black community in USA. I think you was referring about black community in USA.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh, I think the American approach to black and white subject is totally wrong. I mean, they are trying to make. Uh, Check this out. For example, you and me now talking on this video, and now they are trying to make stuff like this in medias. You're not black. I'm not white. You cannot say anything like that. We're all humans. Of course, we are humans. I mean, of course, but it's totally natural, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's a treasure of our human species to talk about a race. And I think
Yeah.
when we talk about race, we are not racists. And people who avoid
No.
that subject, I always say people who avoid to talk about race
Like,
are very
sketch.
suspicious to me. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, very suspicious.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
Never mind which race. Yeah,
Yeah. Like me, I like to talk about like when I meet somebody in Croatia who
yeah,
I'm talking to. So, what part of Europe do you think your grandparents are from? Like, do you think your
yeah,
parents are all from? But then, if it's the other way, if it's maybe a person from Croatia talking to me, and they say, "Oh, Maybe they don't even know I'm African and they just come to me and say, "Are you from Africa?" Somehow it's racist. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
so crazy. It's crazy, right? It's
yeah,
crazy, but this is how,
it's totally crazy. I don't know. Do you know for Jordan Peterson from Canada? He is like psychologist.
yeah,
Yeah, very, very. I like what he's saying about this. Yeah, he's like
I like
center, not right or left, just center. I like to, I like balance in my life,
I
and
think he's more just logic. He's just logic
just
and
logic.
every
Yeah. And I remember one video from one great guy, African American. He was making a video where he would go through New York and he was approaching white people in stores, and ask, "Am I black?" He'll go, "Am I black?" And they will go, "I don't know." Like, they're afraid to say it because they could maybe lose their it's racism. Yeah,
race. Yeah,
racism. So I heard what you were saying about that woman. She was I think she's American, right? That black woman from she was writing you like you are married to a white guy, blah blah blah.
yeah.
Though,
She literally
yeah,
was was like insulting the fact that I was married to a white man. So basically, okay, not everybody does this, but some Black Americans and some Africans as well
yeah,
do this. So if you're a Black person and you're with somebody who is not Black,
yeah,
um, they will try to tell you that you're no longer Black. You're not a Black person anymore. You're a traitor or something. So
yeah.
many very. It's a very touchy subject. It's pretty annoying when you hear that, but I try not to mind it. But sometimes you have to just
Yeah,
speak up. That's how I made the video.
yeah, yeah,
I didn't
and
want to make a video, but sometimes you just have to say something because
of
every
course,
time, like in the Black community, if maybe I have my husband, I rarely have him on my Instagram. You can't really see most of his pictures, maybe one or two pictures on my Instagram. But before, there was so many pictures of him on my Instagram. And every time I'm on Instagram and I see maybe a post of maybe Black people, a Black post, something that has to
yeah.
do with Black people, and I just make a comment, somebody would go to my profile and see that I have a white husband and come back and say, "Oh, you're married to your white master, so you don't need to comment on Black people's opinions and topics." And
You see,
so,
you know what conclusion I would draw from that about African Americans, and I'm sorry because maybe this will sound like generalizations, but I will compare this with something in Croatia. Uh, I think that's a complex of inferiority,
yes,
totally misplaced complex because
yeah,
Croatian people, imagine this, Croatian as white people like to say, for example, for German people, like for example, oh, they're Germans. I say something like, how can Germans make that and we cannot? And they will say, oh, they're Germans. So it's like even amongst white people in Europe, there is a complex of inferiority in Croatia, for example, that we have not a complex that by default we think that Germans are better. I mean, like we consider, I'm now talking from a Croatian standpoint. We think that we are better from in Europe. I don't know why we think that. It's not me personally, but we are better than I don't know Greeks. We are better than Albanians, but for
Albania.
but for
I've
some
heard that
reason,
many
yeah,
times.
but for some reasons we are not that, you know. And I think this is a national stuff I'm talking about now between nationalities in Europe, same race, different nationalities. But I think it's the same thing with African Americans. Only race is involved because of their history and everything.
Yeah,
And
but you see, the funny thing is that just like what you said, even in Africa, okay. We
Yeah.
also do the same thing. So although compared to you, nobody in Africa wants to agree we're better than or we're worse than you. So Nigeria, we believe that we're better than everybody else. We're richer than everybody else because
Oh,
we're bigger, right?
yeah.
That no, honestly, we do have more resources than most other African countries, yes. But in development, South Africa is better than us. Okay. So we have these very aggressive battles between ourselves. We're all
Yeah.
blacks, but we're like, oh, you're Nigerian, or you're South African, or this. You
Yeah.
know, it happens. So that's why I always say there will always be a reason to step. Sorry, this is Nigeria. We don't have 24/7 power.
And this is great for a podcast. So you don't have a. Oh, great. There you go again.
Yeah, it goes off in 1 minute and comes back.
Oh,
It's
okay. So, oh, this was great. Anyway, no, I'm not. I'm not laughing. Jesus. Okay. Sorry. Sorry. Anyway,
so funny. It's funny because you lost your words.
no, I thought that you will lose your internet connection. I'm sorry.
No, no. The Wi-Fi is always on because it's
Or I thought maybe aliens are attacking us. I don't know. So, they attacked Africa first and we are next. Like Independence Day. Anyway, I don't know. Do you like movies or stuff? Anyway.